Join me as we dive into why fractional coins and bars are my go-to for stacking precious metals, from affordability to collectible appeal. This video covers 5 reasons why I love fractional gold. I'm Nose for Silver, and if you want to learn about fractional gold, stay tuned.
Okay, finally I'm seeing fractional orders here.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to hit that subscribe button. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow, and I always appreciate you watching and clicking that subscribe button, or hey, commenting or liking. It's all good. But today it's all about fractional gold. It's a guide for beginners and budget conscious investors like me. So that's what we're getting into today. And we all know gold prices are soaring, but you don't need thousands of dollars to stack gold, because fractional gold makes it possible for anyone. Now, let's talk about what fractional gold is. Basically, you have what is considered a regular gold coin. This would be a 1 ounce gold coin. It's a round number. It's what people tend to think of when collecting gold in the beginning, but it's not what you have to invest in for stacking. There are so many other options. You can get a 1/20th piece, a 1/10th ounce piece, a fourth, a half, the list goes on. And many of the largest mints in the world make fractional gold. You can see here, this is from the Australian mint, Year of the Snake. That's a 1/10th ounce of gold. So, you know, definitely fractional. You can see the back of it there. And also, right here in America, you know we make fractional gold. That's the American Gold Eagle, and that's in its 1/10th ounce form. So it's readily available. Mexico, Europe, basically, even, you can go over to China and get fractional gold if you're interested in foreign coins. If you don't want to stack coins, it's even easier to stack bullion bars of fractional gold. You can get them in rounds or bar format. And again, the denominations go from 1 gram up to half an ounce and all that lies in between. So there are a lot of options. And fractional gold is usually 999 pure or 49's fine. But here's the first reason why I stack fractional gold. It's affordable for any budget. With gold prices soaring above $3,000, getting a 1 ounce piece can be very intimidating and cost prohibitive if that's what your only option would be to get into gold. But fortunately, fractional gold makes it possible. So say, an ounce of gold costs $3,400. That's about where it costs today. So you're going to be paying $3,400 or more for this 1 ounce coin. But when you look at the fractional gold, you might only be paying $350 for this. You will be paying a slight premium, but if it's a 1/10th ounce piece, you can definitely start building your collection without having to lay down thousands of dollars. You can lay down just hundreds of dollars and start getting the gold in your portfolio of precious metals. Reason number 2 I love fractional gold is for its flexibility in barter and liquidity. You're talking about a 1 ounce piece right here. That's $3,400 about, or more or less, give or take what the spot price is. That's a high price for people to get in at. But when you're looking at fractional gold, this piece, again, more people can buy this piece. So whenever it's time to sell, your market is going to be larger for selling this. And whenever it comes to barter, if that's the case, you're not going to have to put out a full ounce of gold. You'll have more denominations to work with, which makes it easier and more flexible for bartering. That makes it super interesting for me to get fractional gold, because that flexibility, that liquidity, and the way that it makes it easy to barter with. The third reason I'm all about fractional gold is because of its diversification and its potential for gifting. Collecting fractional gold from various mints can add variety to your collection. This means you're not just getting American Gold Eagles, you can get fractional gold from across the world. This diversifies your portfolio, increases the chances that you might be able to hedge a little bit better against inflation, if one market becomes more popular than another. And it's easy to gift. If someone's graduating, rather than buying them a $300 gift or even if you go down to 1/20th of an ounce, $150 gift or something like that, you can get them a piece of fractional gold, and that's going to be a lifelong gift. They can hold on to that for years to come and hopefully sell it for a lot more money as inflation goes up. Or, they could go ahead and liquidate it then if they wanted to, because it's just as good as currency in this market today. And the reason, number 4, that I like it is because it's easy to store and it has a lot of portability to it. And honestly, that's gold in general. Whether we're talking about a 1-ounce piece or a 10th ounce piece, gold makes storing wealth so much less bulky. If you're working with silver, you really have to have a lot of space to store that silver and, to protect it. Even for this little piece, that's going to be 10 ounces of silver to have to store instead of this one small coin. And these are in protective cases. Now, you don't need any graded protected cases. That's just what I like sometimes to make sure that the quality of the coin is there. But if you just wanted to store an individual 10th ounce coin in a regular case, that's easy. People do that all the time, and it doesn't take up much space. And the 5th reason why I really like fractional gold, and this is especially true right now in this moment, is that it has a collectible appeal and it leans towards the market trends. Buying an ounce of gold for basically every regular person, just like me, is a stretch. It takes a long time to earn the money to buy an ounce of gold, and it's a very slow process. If you don't want to have to sock money away for months to get a coin like this, like I have to, you can get a piece of fractional gold every month and basically come out the same after the long run. You'll still have the same amount of gold if you were to save up for that 1-ounce piece, but you can start collecting today with the fractional pieces. And what that does is really help with dollar cost averaging over the long term. Because if you're saving up a bunch of money and then going to buy a 1-ounce piece of gold, that's putting all your money into the spot price that day or that week. But if you're spreading it out by buying a 10th ounce piece of gold, you're being able to dollar cost average over the span of months. So you're not necessarily going to get stuck buying at a high spot price. You'll hopefully be able to leverage that timeline and keep your costs down for a piece of gold because you're not buying it all at one time as you would for a 1-ounce piece. You're buying it incrementally each month. But we can't talk about fractional gold without talking about some of the downsides, because the biggest downside, let me tell you, is the premium. The premium is going to be higher when you buy a piece of fractional gold as compared to a 1-ounce piece of gold. But in all honesty, it's not going to be that much higher, especially today if you're not buying coins and you're just buying bullion gold instead. Again, you can get a 1 gram bar of gold if that's where you need to start. It's available. Yes, you'll pay a premium, but you can still start building that collection. The 1/20th piece will have a higher premium as well, but as you start working your way up to a 1/10th, a quarter, a half, you're going to be paying less and less premiums as that fractional value goes up in weight. And honestly, I feel like the 10th ounce piece is really a sweet spot for a lot of collectors and investors because it's enough gold to make a difference, and it doesn't have a serious premium like a 1/20th coin would or a 1 gram bar would. So basically, how do you start collecting the fractional gold? Well, pretty easy. Set up a budget. Start with $100 to $300. That can get you anywhere from a gram to a 1-ounce coin, or still a 1/20th ounce coin, and have that plan to buy it regularly each month if you're stacking gold. And choose a dealer that you trust. Don't necessarily just buy this stuff off eBay unless it's from a reputable dealer. You can look online and compare prices. Usually someone has a sale going on, whether it be at Mex, SD Bullion, local coin shops, or, anywhere else where you can find it that's reputable. Just make sure that you trust who's selling it and that they have a brand reputation to uphold. And definitely opt for Gold Eagles or Maple Leafs if you want extremely easy liquidity, but you don't have to do that if you get bored with those after a while. Again, this is like a Year of the Snake coin. This is super liquid, and it will even sell for a premium over the spot price just because the collectability of stuff like this. If you buy it from a place on eBay, take it to your local jeweler, take it to your local coin shop or even your pawn shop and ask them to verify it for you. Usually they'll be happy to do it. It doesn't take long at all. They can stick it on their Sigma Analytics machine and easily come back and let you know that it's real gold. And the last piece of stacking the fractional gold is just make sure you have a safe place to store it. A safety deposit box, a small safe at your house. These are some of the more ideal ways to do it. You can get creative and bury it in your backyard if you want, but you have to make sure that you can sleep at night knowing that your gold is safe. So store it somewhere that gives you peace of mind. So that's why I stack fractional gold. And I hope that you learned something, or maybe you have taken an interest to fractional gold, because there's a lot of it out there and it can make gold stacking a little bit easier for the common man like me. Remember, this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. I'm just telling you my experience, but if you need to know what's best for your own portfolio, speak to your licensed professional, because I'm just a YouTuber, guys, that loves stacking. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you stack fractional gold. And remember, if you got to this point in the video, I'm loving it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me grow this channel. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about fractional gold. I'm Nose for Silver. We'll see you next time with a little more silver on the table. Later on.